Hello everybody, Raven Knight here, coming at you with another update video for the week, and this is an important update video, so I really hope you'll pay attention, because it is really the last week of October. So let's talk about what's coming this week, and what's not coming this week, and what you can look forward to next week when we get into November. But before we get into that, typical shill, gotta get this out there. If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing. Subscribing really helps out the channel, and I'm hoping to get closer and closer to 17,000 subs. May try to do something cool for that, not sure, still thinking about it. Leave a like in the video if you enjoy it, and leave a comment down below with your thoughts and your questions and your concerns. With all that out of the way, let's get started. Alright, so first of all, I'd like to share a little bit of what Hannah has done for me and the channel since October started. She's been doing a lot of really awesome pictures, and not just her, my buddy Jay has also been doing some really cool pictures, so I wanted to share a few with you. First of all, Hannah has drawn little cartoonish chibis of me and her and what she wants us to wear for Halloween. She's dressed as Freddy Krueger, and I, of course, am Dracula, because Dracula is my favorite vampire. I probably don't have the full costume to pull that off, but it's a really cute picture nonetheless. Also, to add to her female Raven image repertoire, she has drawn me as a female housewife-style slasher villain, which, I don't even know what to say to this. I think it's hysterical and awesome all at the same time. So I'll just say it's hysterically awesome. I think it's a really cool picture, and she was creative for putting it together, so props. Then, of course, we have what Jay has been working on. Jay is always working on some new image. He's just constantly working on awesome art, and lately he has been drawing more art for Troy and Frost, as well as for another story that we're working on together, Nomad, which I believe I've mentioned before. If not, I'll definitely mention it in a story sharing time. At some point anyway. And these are the two new pictures that he's drawn there. One is Abranuk, who will become the new Nomad, the new prophet of the One. She looks wonderful. I really love her design. And then the other one is an image for Troy and Frost, where Frost is threatening her former boss because her partner, James Troy, is in the hospital, and she's going after the men who put her there, and she thinks her boss may have information, so she's playing a little cruel on him. She's become a little cold like her namesake. Really cool pictures. Just wanted to share those real quick before we get started. Okay, now on to the stuff you really want to hear. I'm going to go ahead and warn you, there's not going to be a lot of content this week, I don't think, because it's just going to be super busy. My only two free days that I have are Monday and Thursday, and we'll get more into that in just a second. But because they're my only two free days, those are going to be the only days I really have a lot of time to dedicate to content. Or so you'd think. Turns out Monday and Wednesday we're having people come to the apartment to do some work on the bathrooms and fix up some stuff, so they're going to be here for most of the day. And my parents want to come down and be here for both of those days, so even after the bath fitting group guys leave, they're going to stick around for most of the evening, and so probably not going to be a lot of time to really put forward to content and stuff like that. Glad to see my parents, no question about that, but it does mean there's going to be a dent in content creation. So sorry to say that. Now Tuesday is a double for me, which means I go in the morning and I work until the evening. Saturday is the same. I've been pulling doubles every Saturday. And Fridays, Wednesdays, Sundays, all of those are days that I usually close. So I don't get to do things in the evening, which brings me to my point about Mondays and Thursdays. It is looking like, unless my schedule changes somehow in the near future, Mondays and Thursdays are going to be the only night I can actually stream anymore. Sorry to say that. If me streaming on weekday nights is difficult for you, or you can't watch them then, I really, really am sorry, but this is probably going to be the best I can do, unless I get something changed in my schedule, which right now it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So Mondays and Thursdays are going to be the nights that I stream. And that sucks. And odds are pretty good I'm not going to be able to stream this Monday because, like I said before, my mother and father are both coming down. So I'll try. I will definitely try to do something on Monday night, but I can't make any promises. And if not, I'll be doing it on Thursday. And keep in mind, on Thursdays I also have Bible study. So it depends on when the Bible study breaks off. So it's going to be very difficult. I'm afraid my time is not my own anymore, which isn't that great. But let's move on to some other news. So Dead by Daylight event. Let's talk about the For Honor Dead by Daylight event. Y'all saw me stream it not too long ago, and I gotta say, after playing some more matches of it, it's probably the best event mode I've played in a long time. It is incredibly fun, incredibly entertaining, and I think what I like so much about it is it forces you to play in a totally different way. In most game modes, the game mode kind of works the same. Gather up in your team of 4, run around, beat the heck out of the main bad guy or main boss character, like the Commander or the Prince of Persia or whoever, and just waste them. Steal their power, steal their buff, steal whatever, and then move along. That's what people did in the Jormungandr event. Whenever the hammer showed up, everyone gank around the hammer. Winning ganking team gets the hammer, and then make life hell for the other team for a while. But here, it really doesn't work that way. Yes, you could try to gank the Trapper if you want, but odds are pretty good you're gonna get your team killed while the other team is busy taking zones and getting points. And even if you do kill the Trapper, there's no buff. It just bumps up your team's score by 150 automatically, which, given the fact that standing in a zone makes it go up 4 times normal length, it's not worth it. Killing the Trapper doesn't provide enough reward for you to bother with him. So really, it is a lot more like Dead by Daylight in a For Honor sense. The game mode encourages you, instead of fighting the big bad guy, to avoid him at all costs, go take zones and hold zones and focus on that aspect and avoid the killer. Very much like what Dead by Daylight is all about. I think it's clever. I think it's creative. I hope more comes of it. I doubt it will, but for what it is, I'm extremely enjoying it. It's an extremely enjoyable experience. I'm hoping that as we move into the next 2 weeks of this Halloween event, we'll get to see some old stuff come back, like maybe Feast of the Otherworld, or maybe some of the old executions will come back. I'd like to get those old executions back in there. That would be really cool. But whatever the case, I'm enjoying it so far. It's been a lot of fun. But now for some bad news. Speaking of Dead by Daylight, there will be no Hillbilly video this month. I haven't had the time to go into the research. I haven't had the time to sit down and really play him. And since I'm really bad with him already, it will take a lot of time to even get good quality video content for him. He is next though, so the next Dead by Daylight killer video will be on Hillbilly, so just look forward to that. Alright, done with Dead by Daylight, let's talk about For Honor again. Heroes in History will resume next month. I'm taking a break from Heroes in History this month. I will release a poll this week asking y'all which hero y'all want me to look at next, but I will not start researching until next month. But For Honor and Glory, the next For Honor and Glory chapter is scheduled to release November 1st. I will be releasing the next chapter of For Honor and Glory on November 1st. So for those of you who enjoy that story, look forward to it on November 1st. That is the scheduled day. And if that changes, I will let you know. So while I'm on this subject about Halloween and all that fun stuff, there is something I wanted to ask. I was thinking about what to do for Halloween, and I had a thought. A couple of y'all seemed interested in my story, The Revenant King. And it's only 3 chapters in. I'm still working on the follow-up chapters. I was curious. Some of y'all like it when I read my stories out loud on the channel, like do an audio reading. Would y'all like me to do an audio reading of Chapter 1 of The Revenant King on Halloween? For those of you who don't know, The Revenant King is one of my stories about a modern-day, kind of a haunting thriller story. I wanted to create my own story very much like Dracula, where it's told from multiple perspectives at different times. It follows a singular character, yes, but it tells a kind of horror gripping story, not unlike what Dracula was trying to do, in a more modern context. And the character of Dracula is a bit more of a mystery than a full-on demon. Okay, so thought that would be interesting. So if y'all are interested in that, let me know in the comments. Let me know if that's something you'd like to hear me do. Would you like to hear me actually read The Revenant King Chapter 1 out loud on the channel? If so, let me know. If not, let me know. You know, just let's get that out there. So that is the plan for the coming week. I'm sorry that this week is not going to be as big in content updates. It's just going to be a busy week for me, guys. And November's promising to be even more busy because, I mean, you got Thanksgiving, you got my mom's birthday coming up in that month, you got prep for Christmas going on, you got a lot of families going down and shopping for Christmas gifts and stuff like that near where I work, because the restaurant I work at is near the Tanger Outlet Mall near where we live. It's a Longhorns. You know, it's like, why am I even beating around the bush? It's a Longhorns. I work at a Longhorns. Go crazy. Anyway, so yes, now you know. But with that out of the way, that about wraps it up. So before we go, as usual, let's try to end with a story sharing time. I'm running out of stories that I've written to tell you guys. So let me tell you one that unfortunately is kind of dead in the water. It's one that I tried, was really hoping it would go somewhere, really didn't, and I wish it would have. I may come back to it sometime and try to fix it, but right now it's kind of dead in the water and floating. It's a story called Nighthawk. The story was about this girl who, her family were immigrants from China, and they came to America to start a new life. She doesn't remember much of her time as a child in China, but she is now in college. But apparently some radicals, some terrorists, whatever you want to call them, I never really worked out what they were, essentially. That was always a big problem with the story. Launched a bomb near the campus where she lived, believing it to be an attack on her family or her specifically. Nearly destroyed her body, but she was found by a secret covert government organization that was working to expose these terrorists. They rebuilt her body, and almost like a RoboCop kind of thing, only instead of RoboCop, think more Terminator. She looks just like she did before, but now her inner body is biomechanical. It's bioengineering to the nth degree. She is essentially a cyborg, and she is being trained and programmed to become the ultimate super soldier, built on previous knowledge and technology from this doctor who has a very shady past, and his shady past does come back to haunt the entire group after a while. She just wants to restore her former bond with her family, because seeing as she's supposed to be dead, she can't have contact with her family, which she really, really wants. In fact, there was one chapter in the book where she tries to sneak back home to see her family while they were sleeping, and it nearly breaks her heart because she can't wake them up to tell them she's okay. It would destroy everything. It's a very, very emotional story, which I had a lot of fun playing with. I wanted to play with the aspect that she's so much machine in her body, but still so much feeling, so much humanity. I really wanted to play with that. I also wanted to play with different aspects of bioengineering and different ways that her body could be used to fight crime, fight terrorism, and then add a sort of double agent kind of vibe that someone inside of her own organization was now trying to expose her. Lots of stuff was going on in there, and I think the problem was it was too much. I think I put way too much into it that I wanted to see in sort of a spy super soldier kind of thriller, but instead I bogged it down with unnecessary junk and really killed the story. I think I suffocated it with too much of what I wanted to see. And what I really need to do is go back, rethink the story, rethink what I want to do with it, and recreate the character. But her name is Erin Yen. That was the name of the character. You've been seeing her pictures scroll across the screen. Had her picture done by a lot of different artists. Although, to be fair, one of the pictures isn't technically Erin. It just looks so much like what I had designed for her that I couldn't resist sharing it. Anyway, guys, that's all there is to this update video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below letting me know what would you like me to do this Halloween, and how are y'all enjoying the channel so far? Are you enjoying what you're seeing? Are you enjoying the content? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a like down below, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.